took flight. No fear, no doubt. The Grizzlies came in, but we took them right out. Slapping some of that Memphis BBQ. We hunting bear meat and we cooking it too. Hawks got the win. Boy, we needed it too. Welcome to Hawks Digest. How do you do? Hey man, welcome to Hawks Digest, everyone. I am Chris Tipmore. Happy to see you guys once again. I'm very excited and I have a reason to be. The Hawks got a W on the road, hostile environment against a tough team, a team who was fourth in the Eastern Conference in the Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to get into the post game. This game had 18 lead changes, 15 times that the game was tied. And at the end, the Atlanta Hawks was able to win this game 132 to 130. Got to get the train going, man. You got to get one under your belt. This is a good win regardless. And before we get right into it, you know I also got to give you guys some love, of course. Thank you to the subscribers who are already subscribed to Hawks Digest, making us one of your first listens when you want that Hawks content. And if you are still in that 80% that's moving closer into the 70s, I advise you to please come on over, do yourself a favor and us by coming over and subscribing to Hawks Digest, liking the videos, commenting in the videos, giving us your thoughts when you want that Hawks content. And man, hey, this is a great win for the Atlanta Hawks, man. Gutsy win right here. Hawks were down, you know what I'm saying, different times of this game, and they was able to push through. Now, coming into the game, George Niang did not play in this game. He was dealing with the illness, and Ja Morant also did not play in the game. I know Memphis was on a back-to-back. They were bringing him back up slowly as well, and I have to mention that, of course, Buffkin, we know he's out for the year. Jalen Johnson out for the year. We know that Vit Krejci has a lumbar fracture. He's going to be reevaluated sometime soon. Larry Nance Jr., same thing for him. Not the back problem, but the being reevaluated sometime soon as he's dealing with the fracture as well in his femoral cardial. So that's what was going on. Jaren Jackson also left this game, Hawks fans, with an ankle injury like early in the game. Like he didn't even play many minutes at all. Maybe like the first 2 minutes or so, and then he was gone for the game. So you take that in consideration, but they still had a guy like Desmond Bane who had 23 points last time we played the Memphis Grizzlies when they beat us at home, but we was able to get our lick back tonight. At the end of the day, injuries happen. Things are going to happen. It is what it is. We've been dealing with it all season. Teams can really cry me a river when they're saying, oh, we lost this guy or we didn't have this guy. Hey, we haven't been full strength and been bouncing between that off and on all year. So Hawks fans will fall on deaf ears to any team talking about injuries, all right? You can forget that. But yes, man, guys, great win for the Hawks. Let's get into some numbers. First quarter, the Hawks were down 28-34. And I believe in the first quarter, and shout out to this young man as well, Dominic Barlow. Dominic Barlow also was brought into the Hawks. They converted his contract from the two-way contract to actual a standard 2-year deal contract. And that tells me that the Atlanta Hawks are looking for Dominic Barlow to be a part of the future. You know what I'm saying? Possibly because Quin likes shooters. And let's just be honest, in the big man position, you have Onyeka, he'll shoot the three. You'll have Larry Nance, he'll shoot the three. You have Dominic Barlow, who will shoot the three. The odd man out of that situation is Clint Capela. So moving forward, the closer we get to the end of the year, I'm thinking Clint Capela's minutes may be getting cut just a little bit more. Maybe we'll see Dominic Barlow a little bit more at the center position as the stretch five. If Quin wants to do that, he has that option. But Dominic Barlow started this game at power forward, and him and Onyeka are around the same height. So that's another reason why I feel like he'll be playing a stretch five position. Depends on what lineups we play. But Dominic Barlow in the first half, I believe, gave you good minutes. Especially the first quarter, he had 6 points. He went to the foul line, and he was able to help the offense, or should I say help the Hawks just ultimately in the front court, both ends. And in the second quarter, he really didn't give you a lot. I know he only played about 3 minutes anyway, so he didn't really give you a whole lot. And then you seen Terrence Mann come in the second half, and Barlow didn't get any more minutes like that. So with that being said, Barlow is still going to be a part of the future, I believe, and I believe that they're going to continuously bring him in slowly as the season progresses. But we'll see what happens with that. Second quarter was when the Hawks was able to go on somewhat of an explosion, 42 points to the Memphis 31. They still put up some points, but we was able to cut that lead down, and eventually take the lead from the Memphis Grizzlies, 70-65 in the halftime. And then we actually flipped with the Grizzlies and went back and gave them 42 points in the third quarter, something that you just can't do. But it happened anyway. The one thing about the Atlanta Hawks, they're a resilient team. They continue to fight. And even though they were down at the end of the third quarter, they were still fighting, guys. And in the fourth quarter, they held Memphis to their lowest total of the game with 23 points. You had to do that with defense. That was team ball all around. Straight up team ball, and held them to 23 points in the fourth quarter while you scored 31 yet again. Ultimately, resulting in a 132-130 victory for these Atlanta Hawks. Let's dive into some more numbers. The Hawks absolutely obliterated the Memphis Grizzlies in the points in the paint totals with 82 points in the paint. Hawks were able to get out and pace a little bit as well, mostly in the second half, with 15 fast break points compared to 12 for the Memphis Grizzlies. Bench points, something that the Atlanta Hawks are just going to have to win most of the time, more often than not. And they had 57-51 of the Memphis Grizzlies. We already know, even though we didn't have George Niang, we had Caris LeVert, Terrence Mann, even Garrison Matthews gave you some good minutes off the bench. Shout out to all those guys. We'll get to individuals in a minute. But also, you got to think about this too. The season average for the Atlanta Hawks on turnovers is around the 15-16 mark. We was able to stay under that tonight with only 12 turnovers. And finally, another team with just a bunch of turnovers, as Memphis had 19 turnovers, really about 20. And because I do believe that they took one away, because they definitely had about 20 turnovers tonight. But the beautiful thing about that is the Atlanta Hawks were able to create 29 points off turnovers against these Memphis Grizzlies. No Morant, no Jaren Jackson. Again, cry me a river. We are dealing with injuries as well. We are dealing with a point guard who really hasn't been injured, who hasn't really been healthy all season like that, but he's still progressing through. He's probable on the injury list all the time, talking about Trae Young. So at the end of the day, the Hawks haven't been healthy at all, and again, cry us a river. Let's get into individual performances, shall we, my good people? And I got to put this on the big screen because it was a big game, big win. So we're going to the big screen talking about Mr. Caris LeVert. Caris Lil Uzi Vert. And this guy right here has been such a wild card. I said that coming into when we first got Caris LeVert, that he was a wild card. And he was going to make the trade very interesting if we can get consistent ball play from him. Well, tonight he gave you 31 minutes, 11 for 19. Now, he was only 3 of 8 from the three-point line, but it's okay. I mean, the Hawks in total, we shot 13 for 28, which is 46% from the three. At first, we started off the game 0 for 8. So to start off the game 0 for 8 and still to finish over 46% from the three-point line, I believe is still a great omen. But mostly, we already know, like I said, we obliterated the points in the paint tonight. So that's another reason why we had that high total. But Caris LeVert, 57% from the field, 11 for 19, like I said, still 37% from three, 3 of 8, but the threes that he did hit was absolutely huge. You hear me? Huge. 25 points. Mind you, guys, Caris LeVert now. Yeah, I got to get that laugh out. Caris LeVert, guys, only had like 4 points at halftime. Caris LeVert scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. All right? Caris LeVert was on one, guys. He had 5 in the third quarter. The man didn't score in the first quarter. Then he had 4 in the second quarter. Like I said, the man dropped 16 points. He was 7 for 8 in the fourth quarter. 2 of 3 from 3. Like I said, he hit the threes when it mattered. And he hit big shots. In the fourth quarter, Caris LeVert was 87% from the field, again going 7 for 8. And the Hawks needed every single point, including the game-winning layup, showing poise, showing body control, and showing the will to win, getting the ball, getting the layup into the basket just as the buzzer was sounding, breaking all the hearts in Memphis and allowing Atlanta Hawks fans to enjoy bear meat tonight. Slap you some of that Memphis barbecue sauce on it. I promise you it'll taste better. Caris LeVert, barbecue chicken. Caris LeVert was barbecue chicken in the Grizzlies in the fourth quarter. Absolutely great performance from this man because we needed every single point. So I'm giving Caris LeVert his flowers. He has been a player that has come over to the Atlanta Hawks, and regardless of win or lose, Caris LeVert has been playing, and he has been impressive. I've said before, I know his contract is expiring, but I don't see how you don't offer Caris LeVert another contract. I don't see how the Atlanta Hawks don't bring back this young man, Caris LeVert, right here. I just don't see how you don't do it. So Caris LeVert, salute to you. The Atlanta Hawks needed every ounce of your effort tonight, and I just had to give him his flowers. Normally I may wait till late to do that, but I had to start right now on Caris LeVert, and I'm moving right next to the next guy I have to give flowers to, which is Dyson freaking Daniels, the defensive player of the year. I'm going to keep on saying it until it's really happening because this guy is unreal, unbelievable. He was 6 of 10 tonight, 60% from the field. He didn't even shoot any threes. He was 50% from the foul line, 2 of 4. I mean, the Hawks ultimately, as a team, I was happy to see that the free throw demon didn't bite us too hard tonight because we was 9 of 17 from the foul line, and I was just like, man, I just hope we don't get to the double-digit mark. It was already a high number, missing that many. And honestly, with Memphis, they were 23 of 25. A lot of that was Desmond Bane. He was 14 of 14 from the foul line. So that happened. But forget that. Let me get back to Dyson. Back on schedule. Dyson Daniels had 7 assists tonight, 14 points. I really like how Dyson operates the offense, and I like how he can bring the ball up, similar to how we was doing with Jalen Johnson a little bit, but now we're doing that with Dyson Daniels. Wait till when Jalen Johnson comes back. You'll have multiple guys who can handle the ball, and it doesn't always have to be on Trae. Trae can move around and do different things. You've seen that tonight as well. I mean, but you've been seeing that anyway if you've been watching the Atlanta Hawks. Hey, man, Dyson Daniels, that's another godsend. Like I said, 3 rebounds tonight. Gave you 3 steals. I believe he had more steals than that, though, honestly. He probably closer to the 4 range, but ultimately Dyson Daniels, being the defensive deacon that he is, being that defensive player of the year type guy that he is, getting the steal on Desmond Bane, who was looking to score, looking to create, and Dyson Daniels was like, no, absolutely not. And you've seen things like this before from Dyson Daniels many times, poking the ball away, giving the Atlanta Hawks opportunities to possibly win. You've seen that against the Knicks when we had forced the overtime against the Knicks, him getting the steal, getting fouled in the layup. You also seen it again where we would play the Sacramento Kings and Fox thought he was going to go up and get maybe a game-winning shot. Dyson Daniels and DeAndre Hunter, but mostly Dyson Daniels with the strip. It was absolutely not. Dyson Daniels has been a godsend to the Atlanta Hawks, and he is the best defensive player that I have seen on this Hawks team since Mookie Blaylock back in the 90s. It's not even close. No disrespect to Cephalosha and guys that we've had like that, who's both been defensive specialists and everything, but those guys are nothing like Dyson Daniels. Salute to Dyson Daniels. Had to give him his flowers again as well. Next, I gotta move on to Maruk. I gotta move on to Maruk. Zaccharie freaking Risacher. Told y'all to give him opportunities. Tonight, he was on full display. 32 minutes in tonight's game. 11 for 13. That's 84% from the field. 5 of 7 from 3. That's 71% from the three-point line. 27 points for Maruk. 4 steals. Yes, getting his Dyson Daniels on. 4 steals, gave you 1 rebound, no assists. It's all good because he was giving you buckets. Zachary Risacher does not need to be on a leash. Zachary Risacher needs to get minutes, continue to build his confidence, and regardless of the end result of this season, I want Zaccharie Risacher to be good and ready when it comes for the 2025-26 season for the Atlanta Hawks. In order to do that, he has to continue to have games like tonight to where he gets those opportunities. Again, 32 minutes. He's normally capped off at 25 minutes, but not tonight. And not actually kind of on more recent nights. He's kind of getting more closer to that 30 range. I think that the Hawks coaching staff, they see what's going on with Zaccharie Risacher. They need to give him more opportunities. They know that. I'm so glad to see it. Zaccharie Risacher had a huge game tonight. And before Caris LeVert got going in the fourth quarter, you are not in this situation for a lot of guys, but mostly, you know what I'm saying, for the way that Zaccharie Risacher was able to still put points on the board for you. The man had 9 points in the third quarter. Then he had 10 points in the second quarter. You know, he started off slow in the first quarter, in the first quarter and the fourth quarter because he only gave you 4 points. But those middle quarters, without those 19 points, it's going to be tougher sledding for the Atlanta Hawks. So please, stand up and salute Maruk. Zaccharie Risacher. Big game from Zach tonight, man. And I'm happy to see it. Honorable mention, I gotta give some love to my honorable mention, Onyeka Okongwu. Another big night for Onyeka. 66% from the field, 8 for 12. He missed his only 3, and he missed his free throws as well. Now, that's something that we're gonna continue to have to work on. It's all right. We gotta continue to work on it. 12 rebounds though. Thank you for getting me double-digit rebounds. I always need that from my bigs, especially in the minutes that they play. Clint Capela, he gave you 11 points, but he only 4 rebounds. But when you get 11 points from Clint Capela, you take that. He was 4 of 7, 57% from the field. So I roll with that with my bigs. But again, Onyeka Okongwu, 12 and 16. Another double-double for the young man in 31 minutes. His minutes were big. Garrison Matthews, real quick, just wanted to mention him in between, like transitioning. 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Of course, you know that's what he's coming in to shoot. 60% from 3, of course. 60%, 66% overall. 11 points. You will take that from Garrison. Thank you for the 2 rebounds as well. And guess what? He even got you 2 blocks. Yeah, from Garrison Matthews. So you'll take all that, guys. You absolutely love to see it. This was, again, a brilliant win. We needed this big win just to get off the schneid. Hopefully that this win can help the Atlanta Hawks, you know, and feel some confidence about themselves. And last but not least, of course, right, we got to get into Ice Trae. Now, he did not have, you know, the greatest shooting night, 5 of 17. That's 29% from the field. And Trae has been, he'll be the first to tell you, he hasn't been shooting the best overall. But February was his month, okay? Overall, February is his month. He was tied for first in assists, and he was also second in points in the month of February. So even though he had a bad night tonight on March the 3rd, you know what I'm saying, a whole new month, you got to look at it. He played within the game as well, too. He scored when he needed to, 12 points, but he gave you 15 assists, 2 rebounds. Now, the 5 turnovers, of course, you don't like to see that, but it didn't hurt you to the point to where you couldn't win the game. You were resilient. You was able to fight and make it through. Trae Young was able to be a focal point in this game to help you keep you in this game while guys like Caris LeVert, you know what I'm saying, is doing their thing. Terrence Mann played almost 30 minutes tonight and gave you 7 points, and mostly, you know what I'm saying, was helping on the defensive end. But ultimately, guys, this just was a great team win. I'm happy to see it, happy to have lived through it. And hey, it's all about the Atlanta Hawks. But we can't get too high because we got to turn right back around, and we got games to play, guys. We had the Milwaukee Bucks coming in, and they're looking to get a win back against the Atlanta Hawks. Because last time we played those guys back in February, we was able to get the win against them. Of course, they did not have Giannis. I'm pretty sure he will be ready to go and get after the Atlanta Hawks. But we are at home, so Hawks fans, please make sure you show up to State Farm Arena to support our Atlanta Hawks. We need this win as well, just like we needed the win against the Memphis Grizzlies. But we can't do it without you guys, just like we can't do it without you guys here at Hawks Digest. And thank you for tuning in. Until next time, guys, peace and blessings. Be right back at you with more videos. You already know the Bucks again coming in. So, of course, we're going to have pre-games, post-games, and we also have some other material that we have to drop for you guys in between. So keep it locked. Keep it locked right here at Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tipmore. Until next time, y'all know how I do. Peace and blessings to you all, and to you all, good night.